Okay, so we know about this log on our time. Let me one more time. So this is a result set. So it contains the details about each individual user who logged into the system, right?
Okay, the user active also we can see. Oh, log on, log off.
Log
Okay,
on,
okay.
log off. Yeah. So if user has already logged on, then we can check from here the event with the date.
Okay, okay.
When we sort by this is the latest one. This is the latest one. Okay.
Okay.
So today we just logged on, right? So 28 it got
Yeah.
it got inserted here, right? So and this event is the one which will show you all the details like log on, log off, bad password, this kind of details. Okay.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. And the other one we were seeing is dbc.logon rules.
Okay.
So if we see, no, these are the logon rules. Shit. Okay. If we see here, um, let me do one thing. Okay. Okay, so let me explain this view first. So it contains the detail about the users and whether they are authenticated, whether they are allowed to log into the system. So if you see here, login status is G means granted. Okay, so all these users can log into the system. But if you see here, TD maps, it is saying as R means revoked. So this individual is called TD maps. It won't be able to log into the database, okay, with the username and the password. So how we can set this is, let me check what are the users we have. Okay, we created user A. Okay, so let me take this user as an example. So how we can modify these accesses? I can just put revoke log on this user A. Okay, done. Now let's check this. Yeah. So if you see it got updated. Okay, you can see here, right? User A logon status is revoked and it can't log in to the system. When it is done, it is on 28th. Okay, so now let's grant the access back to this user to log in. So I can just grant, just remove, revoke, and then run with the grant. See, it should be granted. Yeah, you can see that. So user A is granted now and will be able to log into the system. Okay. So this is about the DBC logon rules, whether the user is authenticated to login or not. Sometimes some employee will leave the organization from the development team or from reporting team. So in that case, mostly they won't be dropping the user. So what they will do, they'll just revoke the logon. So with his ID, he won't be able to log in. Okay.
Okay.
So the next thing we'll be discussing about is the query logging, DBQL and query logging. Okay. So query logging is a feature that allows us to analyze workload and resource usage and do the performance tuning. Okay. So basically, whatever queries you run in the system, it will be stored in the DBC table. So later, if you want to check, like you want to check the demographics of the query, how much time, how much CPU, how much pool. So those kind of details we can fetch it from the table levels. Okay. So the query logging framework consists of set of DBC tables called the Teradata DBQL tables, and that store the performance indicators for the group of requests, each request or request steps, and which key figures are stored that we can configure, like which data has to be stored that we can configure. We'll see in the coming slides how to do that. So whether this DBQL have 100% of data, means all the things which is done transactional, all the queries you run, all the details will be stored in this DBC. No, because if you store everything, right, it will be a bottleneck, right? The data will be growing rapidly because there might be thousands of users and they might be running thousands of queries. If you do all, then it will be a overhead to the system, right? So in that case,
Okay.
we can specify like which users we need to set, like, and what details exactly we need to set, so that we can minimize the space, also the performance metrics, like we can reduce how to say, the database performance, because again for writing and reading all this metadata also it need the CPU, memory, things like that.
Okay.
So detailed information can be aggregated and is only available in aggregated form. Yeah, so this is in upcoming tables you'll see. So for performance reasons, right? The data which is collected, it won't be a real-time scenario, but it will be loaded into the memory, and then it will be returned to the DBC tables every 10 minutes. Okay, so
Okay.
in case if you run a query and immediately you want to check the DBQL, sometimes it may not be happening. So you need to wait 5 or 10 minutes, and then you will see that in the DBC
Okay,
tables.
that query data, that metadata should be, or this content related to that has to be stored in a table, right? It will take
Right.
some time to reflect. Okay.
Correct. Yeah. So the interval is 10 minutes. It can be written
Oh,
like instantly, but for
okay.
performance issue, like the data are piled up
Mhm.
and then just written at once.
Okay.
Yeah. And there is a DBS control parameter called DBQL flash, which controls the interval, like in which interval this data should be written. Okay. Mostly it will
Okay.
be less than 5 minutes in real time.
Okay.
Yeah. And in case of a system restart happen, right? Like whatever information that is not yet written will be lost. Okay.
Okay.
And if you want to force and write the make the database to write, suppose if you are doing a restart, if you're doing any activity or going to bring down the system, so in that case you can force it with this query like flush query logging with all. So this will write the data from memory to the DBQL.
Sorry, can you come again? This flush query will do what it will do? It will
It,
rewrite.
it no, it will flush all the data from the memory, the DBQL data which is stored in the memory, right? Within this interval, like within 5 minutes, whatever written into the memory, it will write into the table, DBC table. Suppose we have the interval for 10 minutes, consider. Okay, so
Okay.
on the 7th minute, you are going to do a database restart. Okay, so whatever data collected for these 7 minutes, if you don't write it in the DBQL, it will be lost, right? Because the 10th minute only, the database is going to write in the DBC table.
Okay.
You got that? So 7th minute, you are doing something, you want to restart the system. So in that case, what you can do, you can run this query, okay, flash query logging with all. So what this will do, whatever data in the memory until this 7 minutes, it will write into the DBQL. Then you can do a restart, database restart.
Oh, okay. I got it now. Okay, say for
Yeah.
example, instances of restarting that situation arise. In that case, you just need to run this so that immediate queries will be written into DBQL, correct?
Yes, yes. So
Okay.
in real time situation, what we will do, like mostly we will have this interval time. Okay.
Outage. You will say outage. No, you cannot connect to the to the users.
Yes, we will see, and we'll be started aborting all the ideal users and who are
Yeah. Okay.
before handing over. So in that time, it will be automatically written. So we need not to worry
Correct.
about that. Yeah.
Yeah, you will take a sufficient time, and later you go for a restart.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And this query logging is controlled by the commands like begin query logging and end query logging. Okay, so these different logging rules are available in DBQL rules suite. So let's see this DBQL rules suite. Okay, I can stay.
And one more thing, this DBQL by default enabled, right? For any
Yes. By default,
Teradata.
yes, by default it is enabled.
Okay. The command you show now, begin query logging and end query logging, we are writing it in a BTEC
Not
scripts,
required.
right?
We can, yeah, that we can, if like if you want for any
No,
specific
simple.
user,
Okay.
we can
Uh,
write it.
uh,
Or else if
okay.
you want to do analysis or something on particular user, then you can enable it on that user, so it will be automatically returned.
Okay.
Yeah, DBQL rules.
If you say if you have disabled on the system as a DBA for that user, if he is writing this command and running means it will capture, right?
Correct. He actually, yeah. So this
Now
this one, right?
by default at a database level, you have the option like no query logging. Okay.
Yes. So
If you want to enable the feature for that query or that instance, so
correct.
then he need to write this command.
Yes. So some projects, right? They don't enable this feature. Okay, they keep it off.
Okay.
For saving the space and those kind of details.
Okay.
So in that case, we need to enable it, and then we have to collect the data.
Okay.
So So this DBQL rules in this VM, it doesn't have any rules as of now. So it's empty. So let's
Okay.
see if we have any other detail like show query logging or not. Okay.
Is it possible to show these rules on other system, your production?
Might be I can try. Not,
Okay, you can
not
just
yeah,
show it later.
yeah, I will. Okay, nothing is enabled here. Okay, there is no rule set actually. That's why it's empty. So let's see here.
Okay.
So this is the table visa, and to determine like which rules are activated, you can use either of this, like show query logging for on all, which give you the what level of query logging is enabled, and then you can use this DBQL rules free table. Right. So
Okay.
who can enable or disable this DBQL is like whoever having execute access on this macro. The macro is called DBQL access macro. So
Okay.
if you are running from your ID, then I need to grant
Mhm.
it, like grant execute on this macro to Manjunath. So then he will be Manjunath will be able to enable or disable the DBQL.
Okay. Okay.
Right? So um, so which DBQL table should always be activated? So it's recommended to always activate the DBQL for all the databases. Like we won't be sure like which data we'll be looking into, right? So mostly
Mhm.
it's recommended to have on all the objects. So at least if not on the DBQL log table, DBQL log LOBJ log and then SQL table. So this will contain the metadata about the sessions and their queries run. Okay, so we'll see
Mhm.
about these tables in detail. So this is the
Okay.
syntax you run like
Oh, that means under DBQL itself, there are multiple tables are there, right?
this yes. So it
No,
this
the database, none. I'm not saying database query log.
yeah,
Under that chapter or under
correct,
that
correct,
subject,
yeah,
so
yeah.
there are multiple set of query log tables.
Correct. So
Correct?
if you see here, we have listed the tables here, and we'll go through them.
Okay.
So this is the syntax to enable the query logging. So begin query logging with SQL, object limit SQL equal to 0 is set here, which means it's not going to collect any SQL. So you can have it like thousand lines. So in that case, 1,000 lines of SQL will be captured, okay, from one session,
Okay. Mm-hmm.
and it is set on all. Okay, so now let's see about the different DBQL tables. So the
Okay.
first one is DBQL log table or DBC query log. The first one you are seeing is the table, and this is the view created upon it. So mostly we'll be using the view to fetch the data. Okay.
Okay.
So this DBQL log table or query log, so it saves every row per query with with the data like number of CPU seconds, IOs, spool, okay, elapsed time, start time. So whatever related to that session, it will be stored here. So let's quickly check if
Mm.
we have this.
dbc.querylog qrylog.
Nothing is there as of now. So let me. Let's enable it. Okay, let's first see about these types and we'll enable. Okay. So this will contain the details about the session info, start time, end time, CPU, spool, all those details. Okay. And the next one is DBQL step table or DBQL query log steps. So this will contain the steps. The explain plan will have the steps, right? So those steps will be stored here. So we can check like what step it was running exactly when the query ran. Okay. Even you can do the easiest way is you can go ahead and do a rewind in the viewpoint. But this is the another workaround where you can check.
Okay, that means multiple rows of records we can see, right? Multiple rows we can see for one query, right? For
correct.
different steps.
Correct.
Okay.
So the next table is dbc.dbql lobj table. So this contains the details about the database objects, like what kind of objects are stored in the database level. And the next one is this DBQL SQL table. So this mostly this DBQL log table and this DBQL SQL table is important because it will give you all the details. And real time we'll be using these two on a regular basis to check check the criteria or the data actually from this table. So all SQL text is stored here in this table, and this SQL text also will be if the text is more, right, so it will be written into rows, different rows, where the sequence number will be given. Okay, like sequence number 1, 2, 3, it will be given for one session. Okay, so from that you can collect the data. Okay. So one thing is, even this DBQL query log will have the SQL text. But the data is truncated. Okay, only 100 lines or few lines will be stored here.
Okay.
But when you join with this SQL table,
okay, say for example, shall I call DBQL log table is a one-line information. DBQL SQL table is a detailed information of.
No, let's consider this way. DBQL log table will contain detailed information about the session, but less information about the SQL text. Okay. And the SQL text, this SQL table will contain all the information about the SQL which you run, and less information about the session. Like this won't contain any CPU related kind of things. Only this will be having.
Okay. Then what is the joining column between those two? Is SQL text.
We'll see that.
No. Okay, fine. Yeah. Okay. Okay,
So
maybe yeah. You can go to that step later. Yeah, you can continue with the slide. I just asked that question.
yes, yeah.
You can go on
So
the same order.
right, yeah,
Oh, go to the previous slide. Go to the previous slide.
yeah.
Yeah, I think you can. Oh, this is SQL store. Or this may require several rise. I think this is new slide. Huh?
No, this is the one we are seeing. So
Ah, okay, okay. Yeah, yeah.
DBQL
Okay,
table.
okay, okay. Yeah, yeah.
Right.
Okay.
So and we have other tables like this DBQL summary table, okay, or so the summary tables will have no aggregated values, not that
Mm-hmm.
very detailed level. It will have the aggregated summary values. And
Mm-hmm.
this explain table, it will contain the explain again, the execution plan, right?
Mm-hmm.
It will contain that. And this DBQL XML will give you the execution plan in the XML format. And query log events, it will store all the workload management events, like whenever a workload is changed, whenever workload is
Mm-hmm.
throttled. So those kind of workload related details will be stored here.
Okay.
And if there is an exception in the workload, it will be stored here in the query log exceptions. So
Okay.
these are some of the DBQL tables where the data will be written on regular interval when enabled. Okay, so as we'll see about the real time from where we'll fetch and what data will be fetching.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So query logging can be enabled for all the users or specific user.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, like
Okay.
this is a query. Begin query
Mm-hmm.
logging on all will do for all the users. So if you want to do on a
Mm.
specific user, you can
Okay.
give a username. Okay.
Okay.
Also,
Okay.
you can restrict by using a particular account type also. Like the account type here is consider fast load job or multi-load job. So in that
Mm-hmm.
case, you can give this on a username where the account equal to fast load. So whenever a fast load is running only, it will get stored.
Okay, but that account, where exactly it's referring?
Here, if you see, oh, sorry, you see here, I have given your name. Okay, logging on to Manjunath. So this
Okay, account
account,
in the account in the sense like that user ID.
no, this is the user ID. Logging on user ID
Okay.
and the account
Uh,
equal to the account I have given here, right? So you can replace this the account to other types like other account strings, right? We saw.
okay, that dollar L dollar H, that one is.
Yes, you can give those inputs here. So only with that accounts it will be logging in.
Okay, okay, okay.
And also if you see down, you can do it for the application level also. So you need to give begin query logging on application name equal to like fast load, aim load. So we can give it here in the place of application. So whatever you have given, only that will be logged in on the application level. Okay. So you can
Okay, okay.
do it for all the users. You can set for single user, or you can set for set of users with account level, or you can do it for the application level also.
Okay.
Okay. So let's check this one. It's probably- Yeah, so this is done. Now let's do some simple select or something. Okay, so earlier if we saw, they were nothing written into the DBQL query log, right? So after now we enable the query logging. So
Okay.
after that, if you see that the data is getting written into it, right? So these are the fields, the columns which you
Mhm.
can know refer. Like this is the
Okay.
log on source, okay, and the
Mhm.
account string,
Mhm.
login time, and then yeah, start time, no, elapsed time. So this start time is the one when your query started, and the
Started. Okay.
first step is one when the query actually started running. So there can be a reason where the query started, but it was in the queue waiting for the
Mhm.
execution. So this first step time is the one where it started running actually. Okay, and this first response time is the one when the first row or the database started giving out the output. Okay, so this response time minus step time is the elapsed time.
Mhm.
Okay, so this elapsed time is the total time which your query ran. Okay, so this kind of details we can get it from this query log.
Mhm.
Uh, you can have error code or error text. With that, if something fails, you can check. And this AMP CPU time is a CPU time, and
Mhm.
this IO count is the total IO. And you can also
Okay.
get the result total number of rows here.
And end time is also there.
Uh, where?
The start time I saw. End time.
Yeah, end time is this first response time, right? Yeah, we saw. Yeah. So first response time is the time
Oh, okay.
when the
Okay. Okay.
query completed execution and then started writing to the application.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. So yeah, so these are some of the main columns which we will be using. Okay.
Mhm.
And if you see here, let me show you one more thing. Yes. So this is the query text column. Okay. So whatever we ran, it will be logging in here. And this is the statement type. Like if you run a select, it will be statement type will be select. If you do an insert, then it will be insert. Okay, so
Mhm.
this query text is the one which contains the SQL data, but it's truncated. Like here we have very less number of lines, so it is written here. So when it grows, it will be truncated. Okay.
Okay.
So let's do. I'll show you that. This is the view, right? So I'm just doing a show select start from. Show you the view. So this is the view, right? So if you can see, it is fetching the data from DBQL log table. So this is the view we are putting, right? Query log. So if you see, it is fetched from this DBQL log table, right?
Yeah.
And see this table. If you do the body text here, these are the columns for the ID, error code, and then query text. Okay, so if you see here, it's limited to 10,000 characters. Right, you got it right.
Okay.
What I mean to say.
Yeah.
So above this 10,000, it will be truncated.
Okay.
Okay. So we now enable the query logging and all. Okay. So similarly, you can do it for the other things for any particular users or things. Okay. And the next slide. So these are some of the DBQL table columns which we'll be seeing as we discussed earlier. So query start time, query end time, passing time, the error codes, total CPU, IO, workload delay in case of any query text. So again, it is truncated. Right. So these are some of the columns you will be referring when you are checking on this slide.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah. So earlier I told like we'll be joining this SQL table and DBQL log table, right? So to fetch the data. So mostly we'll be collecting all the required columns. So this is largely enough columns which I have indicated here. So if in case if you need more, you can add it here. Okay.
Okay.
So we
So
select all the
based on query ID. Okay.
yes. So query ID and then we give the date here. The logon date on both the tables. And if you want to filter more, you can give the session ID too.
Okay.
And so this is about the query login. Okay, so let's see. I'll tell you one thing. So in real time, right? Some projects they have PDCR. Okay, so what is PDCR is performance data collection and reporting. Okay, so until now, all we saw is within DBC, correct? So dbc.query log, dbc. Log table, SQL table, everything is under DBC, right? So we consider 1,000 users, 1,000 queries. What will happen? The DBC space will be consumed. How big this DBC metadata should go, right? So to avoid that, system performance will in turn be affected, right? If you have huge data on this, right? You won't be able to fetch the data within the specific time if it grows. Consider you're having 6 months of data into your DBC query log, then in case if you need to filter out a particular month, in that case, like it will take huge CPU, right? Spool, everything will be more. So Teradata came up with this concept called PDCR, that is performance data collection and reporting. So what will happen in this PDCR, right? So we have a separate databases created under this PDCR. Okay, so whatever I have listed here, these are some of the databases. So these are the hierarchy. Okay. So let me tell you in short. So what will happen? There will be a no script which will be scheduled. So what will happen every day at 12 a.m. your system time? All the data from a DBC will be moved to this PDCR staging first. Okay, and from this PDCR staging database, it will be moved to this PDCR data. Okay.
Okay.
And this PDC, yeah.
It will be copied from DBCT to PDCR environment, right?
Correct.
PDCR server.
And not a server, it's same database in your server. It's a separate database.
Okay,
Like
there is nothing like a new server we need to take for
no,
this
no,
option,
not,
right?
no, nothing new on that. So
Uh,
we created like DB admin, sec admin, those kind of databases, right?
okay.
Finance, HR, those kind of similar way. It will be
Okay.
a separate database, but this database will have individual PDCR account. So those kind of details will be there. Right. So one thing we need to note here is DBC data will be stored for only one day, 12 to 12. Okay. So in case if you need data for last week, last month, so in that case, you need to come to this PDCR only. Got that right? Yeah. So actually, this was not in that the things, but I thought like it would be helpful. Like in case.
That means if I want to maybe like 2 weeks of data, if I want to store, means we need to change the setting in PDCR, you're saying?
No. See, what I'm so okay. Let me show you here. We saw all this, right? This DBQL log table, DBQL SQL table, right? So this particular table data, right? So what I'm saying, 12 to 12, the data will be there in DBC. This table.
Okay.
Okay. After that, this table will be moved to the PDCR database.
Okay.
Okay. So in case you need to go and check the older database, you need to come here. Instead of DBC, you will be giving PDCR info. This is the view database. The remaining table name and all will be similar. Okay. So you just need to give the database name different. Instead of DBC, you need to give this PDCR. You need to refer this PDCR.
Okay.
You got that? So yeah. So these are some of the details about the PDCR admin access.
For this one, for this one, customer has to take a special license or what?
Correct. So this is an added feature. So mostly enterprise data warehouse will have it. But I have seen databases without PDCR also. In that case, they will be doing a manual cleanup of DBC tables, right? They will have a retention of 80 or 60 days, and then they will purge the old data. So that is not the case of PDCR. We can have more number of days also. Just the thing is, we need to move the space to this underlying databases. So it will be keep on adding up the rows. So these are the structure we saw, right? So this PDCR data, it will contain the actual data copied from the DBC. And this PDCR staging is a staging database, and this PDCR info is again the view database created on PDCR data. So we will be fetching the data from PDCR info only. Okay, and yeah, so this is how the data are moved, like schedule jobs, execute the job scripts. That sum is the SQL to Teradata, and the data is moved from
Okay,
the.
once data from DBQL to PDCR is moved,
Mhm.
okay, so we don't find any records in DBQL, or how it will be empty, or what exactly it's going to happen?
Yes, it will be empty. The DBQL log table will become empty, and then next day data, right? Like from 12, whatever is getting logged, that will be present in the DBQL.
Okay, okay. In PDCR, shall we maintain a history of a few weeks or anything like that?
Yes, we can do that. I will show you that too.
Mhm.
Okay, so you understood the concept, right? The basic concept behind the PDCR. So these
Yeah,
are
yeah, correct.
these are some of the jobs. Okay, if you take this job PDCR 10-minute job, it will run for every 10 minutes. Okay, not 12 to 12. It will run for every 10 minutes, and it will collect the session info, canary queries, those kind of details. Okay, and we have no hourly job, and we have this PDCR daily job. This is the main job, and this runs at 12:05. So it copies the data from DBQL, log on off, usage, disk space, TDWM, access log. So these are the no, main tables from which data is moved from DBC to PDCR. Okay. And we have this
Okay.
weekly job which runs on no, Sunday. So whatever I have given here, right? This time frame, it's a default settings across the environment until it is not rescheduled as per the customer. Okay, mostly they won't do it, so it will be same in your environment or any other environment also.
Okay.
Okay, so weekly we have a purge data also on PDCR, the retention according to the retention table. I'll show you that. So starting with the viewpoint, right? 15. We can schedule no the what to say, the PDCR jobs from the viewpoint. So before that, we need to schedule it through the cron job, or usually cron job in the Unix level. Okay, but now we can directly do everything from the viewpoint. So there is a portlet called performance data collection. So as shown here, this is the data. Means these are the jobs. Okay.
But
So you
if you
can,
want to, if you
yeah.
want to do this one from viewpoint, means that's a manual activity, correct?
From the viewpoint in the sense, I didn't get.
Now you said PDCR the jobs, no? From viewpoint, we can schedule it or we can run it. Something you're saying, right?
Right. Yes.
No, is it a immediate run, or you can do a scheduling? It has to run after 5 hours. It has.
Yes, it's not an immediate run. Like see, if you see the tabs here, every 10-minute job, hourly job, everything is there, right? So
Okay, okay.
so it's not an immediate job. So this PDCR daily job will run every day at 12:05 only. Okay. So what you can do from viewpoint is you can stop or start. You can if something failed, you can check why it has failed. So those kind of details you can check from the viewpoint directly. That's what I mean.
Okay.
Okay, it's like a interface from where you can control these PDCR jobs.
Okay.
Okay. So if we see here that there is separate job for log on of DBQL, session, accounting, statistics, TDWM. Okay, so these are some of the main tables, and these are the jobs from where you can see if something goes wrong. Also, you can monitor from here. Suppose if there is no space in PDCR data, so some jobs may fail, right? So it will show you alert here. So from here we can see, okay, something has gone wrong, I can check the alert and do the required things. So before that, there is no kind of UA of before 14, means before 15 in 14 version and all, we don't have any alert setup for this kind of UAs. So we need to check the SQL log and then we need to work accordingly. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
So this is the no jobs. If you can see here, you see the enable jobs, right? So you can, if this is selected, the PDCR jobs are enabled, and if you want to disable, you can just check out this option. Okay.
Okay.
And
Okay.
then this is the retention period. Okay. So these are the different tables and how many days of data you need to keep. So you can set it over here. So on every Sunday, we saw like a first job runs, right? So it will refer to this data, and whatever the old data it has, it will automatically purge.